everyone, live from CNN London. I'm Hannah Vaughan-Jones, in for Hala Gurani. Tonight, laying out his vision of America, President Trump prepares for his first State of the Union address that has a host of issues lurking in the background. One thing the president is sure to bring up is military strength. Tonight, we are live in Somalia, where U.S. troops are at their highest level in decades. Also, how hackers are using a scheme called jackpotting to steal money from ATMs. But first, our main story this evening. America's economy is booming. Its borders are becoming more secure, and the country is on its way to becoming great once again. That is the message we are expecting to hear just hours from now from Donald Trump. The world will be watching as the president addresses Congress in his very first State of the Union speech. Go White House reporter Stephen Collinson has a preview of Mr. Trump's speech, and our senior international correspondent Matthew Chance has the Kremlin's perspective. Stephen, to you first. Tell us about the mood there in the U.S. Capitol this evening, in the build-up to this speech, and as these memos and rumors keep swirling around the president and the Russia probe.
That's right, Hannah. It's been an extraordinary week, really, of revelations about the Russia investigation. And it appears that the president's exposure to that investigation and vulnerability is growing.
Matthew Chance is live for us in Moscow at the moment. Matthew, those sanctions that we talked about yesterday, they haven't actually been imposed. What's happened is that this list, this sort of naming and shaming of individuals and entities, that has been revealed by the Treasury. And what's been the response then from the Kremlin, from Vladimir Putin in particular?
Well, there have been a couple of reports that have been issued today that have met the deadline set back in August when the relevant act was signed into law by President Trump reluctantly. One
thing he is sure to bring up is touting the economic state of the Union. There's no question that the stock market has been on something of a tear since Mr. Trump took office back in January of last year. But right now, take a look at this. The Dow is on something of a deep slide. Blue chip stocks are down triple digits at the moment. And I think we can bring up the big board there. Yeah, you can see that down 385 points at the moment. Now, Stephen, we both know that this isn't a president who's afraid of letting facts get in the way of a good story. But can we expect some last-minute additions, some changes to this speech, given what's happening on the stock markets right now?
Well, it certainly puts a little bit of a dampener, perhaps, on President Trump's cheerleading that we expect.
Well, let's talk about his tone this evening. We saw just last week in Davos at the World Economic Forum that President Trump was talking about peace and prosperity on the foreign stage. Is that going to be the same message to America?
Certainly the prosperity part. You know, there's a pretty low bar for him these days. You know, if he just reads reads his script from the teleprompter without, you know, falling over the podium or, you know, or cursing somebody or saying something racist, people tend to say, oh, that was very presidential. That's a pretty great speech.
CNN is getting an inside view of this conflict, which is often overlooked. Sam Kiley is standing by for us now in Mogadishu, Somalia, joins us live. Sam, welcome to you. Just detail for us what exactly the mission of the U.S. is in Somalia and at what cost, both in terms of cash and human lives.
Well, the cash element is a secret because it is a special forces operation, but there are 500 special forces troops, or more or less 500.
Yeah, Larry, great to have you on as ever. For our international viewers, just to kick things off, what is the historical significance of the State of the Union address? And historically, what has it given the president the opportunity to do?
It's pure theater, and for decades, really from Thomas Jefferson until Woodrow Wilson, it was simply a written speech sent to Congress. It was not delivered at Congress.
Yeah, and we've got some stats, actually, we can show previous presidents and how their kind of approval ratings have gone up in the aftermath of a State of the Union address. From there, you can see Obama in 2009, his went up 8 points. Clinton back in 1993, so this is before the Lewinsky stuff all broke, but he went up eight points as well. A lot of that, I could say, I guess, in particular with Obama and Clinton, that's down to style. President Trump's style is now well known. He's not necessarily going to woo the crowd in front of him. But let's just listen as an example to President Obama and the wit, the jibes, the humor that he used when he was giving a State of the Union address. This is in 2015.
I have no more campaigns to run. My only agenda, I know because I won both of them.
So very quick-witted there from President Barack Obama. Is Trump capable of playing this crowd in that kind of way?
It will be a surprise if he can pull it off.
How exactly does this work, and how widespread is it? Is it across the whole U.S.?
Jackpotting actually started here in Europe, then went over to Asia, and then in the past year we saw it a lot in Mexico. Now, for the first time, it's hitting the U.S. shores.
And finally, a story that is sure to be appealing. Wait for it. Police in Spain got more than they bargained for when they looked in the back of a car and van that were being driven erratically. The car was stuffed with hundreds of oranges. The cops seized 4 tons of the fruit and arrested the suspected orange thieves. And aren't you glad we showed you these pictures? Glad we squeezed that story in. That's it. The puns end there. Thanks so much for watching tonight. Stay with us here on CNN. Questioning's Business is up next.